All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing our day. By His mercies, we're consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall's body, and two are naturally alive, man. You know, man, we're gonna get into this, man, because honestly, man, there's a misconception because a lot of times too about certain things, right? Because honestly, there's a like, there's like, let's get this in Second Corinthians real quick, man, because a lot of times too, like, uh let's get to Second Corinthians real quick because we gotta realize, man, this is part of being spiritual maturity. You realize, man, certain things aren't just certain things, dynamics. Certain things are just human nature. Honestly, it's not uh, um, this type of thing because that's what kind of Satan used. That's part of Satan's devices, man. Because they use kind of the because are there different quote unquote in this world racial dynamics or different with different nations? Yes, there is, and we talk about, but that's just that's just one thing honestly that is what it is. But also too the whole gender war conversation, man. That's really on the manosphere and the red pill and the feminist stuff like that we see, especially in this western side of the world. That's something that it really subconsciously is teaching you to go against the Most High in your house, try not to serve your God, honestly, because that's just what it really is what it is, honestly. That's part of Satan's devices, as the word says, man, because both really the problem, the root of it is both men and women, they're not getting the people that they want, honestly, and they're not overpassed relationships or upbringings, things of that nature. They're not, a lot of people out here aren't loved, man, so that's really a thing. So that's one reason too about it, because really, man, it's not you as you really realize things. Certain things are not just men and women things, man. It's a hearts of man thing. Honestly, it's a sons of Adam thing. It's a people thing. It's just human nature. So, yeah, man, because that whole gender war conversation, man, is really teaching um, people to go against the Heavenly Father, man. But let's get to Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, "Least Satan should get advantage of us, and we are not ignorant of his devices." So see that, yeah, man. And that is one of the Satan's devices, man. The whole gender war thing, man. Because certain things is now, do we talk about sometimes different dynamics of certain things with different genders, of course, and they're both had to realize that we just had two different natures, man. That's saying about understanding each other's nature. That's what is what it is. Why are we saying this, man? Because a lot of people, that's what I even was of the, especially first coming to the word, even before being the word. That's why a lot of people don't pick up on Adam and Eve story, man. What Adam and Eve is really about, honestly. Adam and Eve is really telling them from the beginning how the Most High house how the Most High Christ would deal with us, deal with his people, honestly, deal with his wife. That's what it is. Because a lot of times, people don't you'll know that that Adam died in the garden for his wife, just like how Shah died in the garden for his wife, honestly. So that's just is what it is. So like the brother assembly firstborn said, man, that's what happens with that, man, because the redemption for his creation, that's what it was really about. But but that aspect of with the whole gender war thing in the manosphere, but what's been happening, not even just now, but it's been heightened kind of now, but even decades and decades, that's what's going to happen, honestly, because people are going to miss it. But, that's is what it is, because people blame Eve and things of that nature, not knowing that, especially our people like Israel, man, we are Eve, honestly. That's so when we talking about Eve, we're condemning ourselves, honestly. And also to Adam, calling Adam a simp, man. So like the brothers of Semi firstborn said, if Adam is a simp, then the second Adam has to be a quote unquote simp or a sucker, things of that nature. And that's not the case. Now I used to have that kind of mindset or just condemn both Eve and Adam. That's not the case, honestly. But that's one of the reasons why the whole gender war thing is bad. But we gonna get into this just as real quick, man, about how misconceptions, man, like the brother somebody firstborn said, about because today's the 27th, right? So I want to get into this, man, because I remember on 25 years ago, Jay-Z on his classic album, The Blueprint, honestly, which came from KRS-One. KRS-One had the blueprint first, but Jay-Z's The Blueprint, right? He had on Heart of the City. He has a song called Heart of or her city on the song, he has a line saying men shouldn't be jealous, and that's a female trait, and that's not really, that's a misconception. That's not the case honestly, because like that's both men and women jealous. That's a human thing. That's a sons of man thing. That's a people thing, honestly. So that's just is what it is. Now, on face value, it might sound cause like good, but I realize I know it's just a people thing, honestly. Like that that what you call 'em, jealousy, honestly, and even envy, because envy is just a tier. Like you kill somebody with envy, honestly. We see that song David, and and all throughout the word, honestly, we see that, and even in just regular life, you've seen that honestly, different regular life, different movies, TV shows, things of that nature with envy. But yeah, man, you kill somebody with envy, but jealousy is a cruel thing too, as a word it goes into. But yeah, when Jay said that, a lot of times too, like we quote that, but and that's a misconception that jealousy is just a woman thing. No, man, that's a hearts of man thing. That's a people thing. And we're gonna get into it. But Proverbs chapter 27 verse 4. This is in the Good News translation. It says, "Anger is cruel and destructive, but there's nothing compared to jealousy." Now in the regular it says envy, but yeah, jealousy is just as bad, man. Let's get that in. No, we're gonna get this in Proverbs 27 and 4 right here. And we're gonna get 27:4 here. And wrath is cruel, anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? So see, now envy, that's something. That's how they killed Yahushua, out of envy. Saul and David, envy. Damn near. I think even though it said that was a high level of jealousy because it didn't kill him, but it could have been that with the patriarchs and Joseph, man. That was envy. It's a lot of things with that, man. But that's just not that's just a misconception that it's just the fact that women, the jealousy is just a woman thing. That's not the case, honestly. That's a people thing, man, honestly. And we should realize that especially with the whole gender war dynamics, as we see that, because that's all of really Satan, that is not understanding too, because it's too. And here's what even sisters as well, but even here's what brothers have to understand, man. Just be mindful, be careful of watching too many of the red pill and the MGTOW stuff like that, because because it can lead you to actually hate a woman. That's not conducive, man. You just got to understand, like the Brother Chronicles Judah used to say, the nature, over 10 years ago. And that's the thing about it too, man. You just have to understand the nature, and both, even with women watching too much stuff like that, because they'll hate you, have you hating the Most High Yahushua, man, honestly. Because both, honestly, it'll have you hating the Most High Christ with women, because if you hate men, because whenever women say they hate men, it's really the aspect of the lack of the fathers or the males in their life, bad experiences they have, upbringings, probably lower women part, probably not sexual abuse or this abuse or this lack of fathers in the home, but also too, it's really against the Most High and Yahushua, against the Heavenly Father, but also too with men, honestly, because that's why the word says, "Give not your wife an evil lesson," or hating women, things of that nature, hating cause the Most High Yahushua didn't hate us, but he was merciful towards us, so that's just is what it is with that, man. So it's not bad, but it's not conducive to both sides, honestly. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is. Now this kind of goes into this goes into envy, but that's not something I want to get into. But yeah, man, that's just the aspect of that, man, honestly, because it's understanding the both natures. But yeah, that's just a misconception that women just get jealous and things, and that's not the case, honestly. That's let's read it again. Proverbs 27 verse 4. It says, "Anger is cruel and destructive, but there's nothing compared to jealousy." Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's just is what it is, man. So, yeah, that's just unfortunately it is what it is, because there's a lot of misconceptions, things of that nature, man. That even misconception we talk about, women love harder than men. That's not the case, man, because Jeremiah 6:2 says he compared Israel to a woman, man. Now we never loved the Most High and Yahushua more than they loved us, so we know that's not the case. So that's just is what it is. So that's why we gotta watch and listen to things spiritual eyes and ears, look at things spiritually. But of course, we're human and flesh, we're gonna look at things naturally, and we use natural examples on here. But yeah, I just wanted to go on that, because that just popped in my mind earlier as a something to talk about. But hopefully, it's edifying, man. So peace.